What is up, everybody? It is me, the anti-hero, John Anthony Chihak Soltero, here with the third part of the three-figure review. Now, as you remember, the first two parts were the CM Punk AEW figure, and the second part was Thunder Rosa. Now, this is Series 84 Elite, Rhea Ripley. I recorded this a couple of times and I've already thrown out the box, so I can't show you like all the the finals with the box and everything. But the thing I like about the Elite Series versus the AEW Unrivaled and Unmatched are that even though it's not going to be mint in box anymore because you've taken it out, you can put the figure back in the Elite Series, which is really, really nice. And I do appreciate that a lot. And that's nice for collectors who like to just show off the figure in the box. That's kind of one of the bad things right now is that Hasbro is really struggling with what they're doing. This is Mattel, but Hasbro is really struggling because of a lot of the issues with trying to do the no plastic packaging. Well, you're making a figure out of plastic, and you're also doing these things where it's a blind package. It's kind of like those like blind toys that you buy. You have no idea what's going on, and basically you're buying the box. So a figure with a plastic panel that you can see, you know what you're getting. You can see if the paint applications are off, if the paint swipes are there and everything. So the AEW figures, even though you can't put them back in the box, and the Elite figures are great because you see what you're getting. Anyways, we're going to go into detail. We're going to go into figure likenesses. So up to the 84 series where Rhea's from, they did still say that they are using real FX scan. And you've kind of got the decent look for Rhea Ripley. You've got a lot of detail in her ears where you're getting her piercings on both sides. There's decent detail in her hair. The eyes and the smirk aren't bad. Of course, this isn't the most modern incarnation of Rhea where the gear is changed a little bit. The shorts or the pants would become shorts with a lot more straps included. She may not be wearing the vest, I forget, and the top's going to be just a little different. And of course, her hair is jet black. She wears the jet black lipstick, and then she's got and I forget which eye it's under. I think it's this one, or actually it's this one because it'd be mirrored. She has the scales, the Libra scales. So good detail on this figure. As you can see, there's the shoulder pad spikes. You've got the chain accessories along the back. These kind of move around a little bit. I mean, they're fixed molded, but if you move them, you kind of get an effect for where she's walking. There's also this nice padding texture underneath the arm areas. There's good fabric folds associated with this. Of course, you've got her Aussie flag. Her gear up front is cool because you've got the belts on her jacket. Her pants have a lot of detail on them. And so we're seeing a good amount of detail. Kind of where you lose it a little bit is down here at the feet. The joints aren't super tight with the instep. So you get this weird little gap and it kind of throws off a little bit. And this may be just this figure specifically, but the joints in the ankles are super loose. So making her stand is a little bit more of a chore. You kind of got to lean her a tad forward, which makes it a little bit of a bummer. Especially because of the stature of Rhea Ripley. She's 5'7". When she's out there at ringside, she looks a lot bigger than she actually is. But she actually did an interview where she's like, I'm only 5'7", and she tends to like hunch when she's just like backstage and stuff. But then she ends up presenting as this like almost monster when she's out there. She comes with one separate set of hands, and the ring jacket, of course, is something that was packaged separately. Nice thing about this is both sets of hands are going to have her trademark black nail polish, and the second set of hands can interlock, so she can do some holds and some grapples with other characters. When you take her hands off, the other thing is these bracelets, her wrist gauntlets or bracelets, whatever you want to call them, can also come off as well. So you can kind of change her look up just a teeny bit. She's got a cool dog collar on as well, so she comes across as very punk rock metal, and it's a good overall representation of the character of the woman herself. One of the issues that I'm seeing with this figure, and I just also, like I said, did the review of Thunder Rosa, is the scale and size comparison. You're not putting together a dream match between AEW wrestlers and WWE wrestlers, and here's the reason why. Thunder Rosa is 5'3". Rhea Ripley is 5'7" in real life. These figures, Thunder Rosa is actually bigger in stature than Rhea Ripley. I put Rhea Ripley next to my Randy Savage Elite Series, the cream of the crop promo, and she is insanely smaller than he is. Savage was like 6'1". So that's like a matter of 4 or 5 inches, and it's looking like she's a full head or so smaller than he is. And so that's really disappointing. I know the different series might be scaled differently, and they may not be doing that accurate a job. I believe the AEW figures are scaled on a 6-inch scale. So the figures are a little bit different. Luchasaurus is taller. Punk is kind of the middle. Some of the other figures I have are shorter. Thunder Rosa and Riho are two of the shortest figures that I have so far. But it's very disappointing that there's not a universal size. So my WWE figures are only going to be able to fight WWE figures. AEW figures only going to be able to fight AEW figures. That may be a little bit different for some of the male figures. They may be a little bit closer. But knowing that Rhea Ripley is not going to be able to have a dream match with like Britt Baker, or when they make a Saraya figure, or, you know, a Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill is going to tower over this Rhea Ripley figure because Jade is about, what, 5'10". So if we think about what that looks like in scale on the AEW figure, she's going to tower over this 5'7" figure. So we're doing the grading on a Meltzer scale. And out of a 5.0, originally when I did the review for this figure, I gave her a 4 1/4 stars. I actually have to drop the rating to 4 stars. And the reason I'm dropping the rating to 4 stars is the scale. I don't know what it is about WWE and their issues with integrating with other toy lines and things like that, but I really wish they'd be more consistent. When TNA introduced their 6-inch figure line, you had these AJ Styles figures, and you had X Division figures, Samoa Joe, things like that. All of a sudden, WWE figures shot up to a 7-inch scale, and it completely threw everything off. So you weren't going to be having these tremendous face-offs anymore. I guess one of the good things of the continued expansion of WWE is a lot of those wrestlers have signed with WWE and gotten their own figures now. However, the consistency with how they are putting out their figures as well doesn't make sense. For every Rhea Ripley figure, you've got like 8 Rey Mysterio figures. And don't get me wrong, Rey Mysterio is going to sell more, especially for the kids. But when you have a $20 to a $30 figure, In the Elite series or the Ultimate Elite series, you can cut back on having to have the more kid-friendly figures. You can have these figures that do a little differently, um, and bring about more. There, as far as I know, are only two Rhea Ripley figures. There's this one, and then there's the two-pack with Charlotte. And I really wish they would do an NXT Rhea Ripley, maybe with the belt, and then a current Rhea Ripley, maybe from Survivor Series this year, which of course will take 4 to 6 months before we see that. The jet black hair, the lipstick, all the tattoo appliques, because you're not seeing any of her tattoos anywhere. Rhea has a lot of tattoos, like on her thighs. She's got the scales now, with all the different gear, and the fact that you could do her in her like Evil Lynn gear from Survivor Series. That would be tremendous. Also, even if we're not talking scale, Rhea Ripley is incredibly built. She's got big shoulders, she's got a wide back, she's got bigger arms, she spends a lot of time in the gym, and I don't feel like this figure really embodies all the work that she puts in. I think they did a good job with the detail, but other than the detail, they didn't make her super accurate to who she is. And that's why this figure is only going to get a 4. Like I said, originally it was a 4.25, just because some of the issues, and it doesn't give me the Rhea Ripley that I want. But at the same time, I have to go overall, and dropping her down to a 4 seems more than fair. And that's not the figure's fault. That is Mattel's issue. That is WWE's issue. And I really hope that they correct that at some point and give us figures that are going to cross over and we can have them face off with each other. Because I'd love to have a Rey Mysterio face off with Penta. And chances are we're never really going to see that. So Rhea gets a 4.0. We had Thunder Rosa at a 4, what was it, a 4.5 rating. And, it's just kind of disappointing that you have these figures stand next to each other and they're the same height, and there is a 4-inch height difference. And somebody might say, well, that's negligible. It would be very noticeable in the ring. So there we go. It's kind of a shorter review. I do have another review coming up soon where I'm going to break down the Battle Android Trooper from Hasbro and the Python Patrol. This is one of those figs I had in the 3 3/4 inch line when they originally came out back in the day. So this is going to be a lot of fun to see how this figure compares to the ones that I had. Like close to 35 years ago. Dang. Makes me feel old. Anyways, we will see you soon. Stay tuned. Like and share and subscribe if you would like. Don't share on Twitter because now you're not allowed to do that anymore. But hope that you guys are taking care of yourselves and you have a great new year coming in. You know what? I say don't make any resolutions, or make resolutions that are going to be good for you. Don't make something that's going to be crazy and you're going to feel really bad if you don't keep to. These have been a hard several years for all of us, and I just want you guys to be kind to yourselves. I myself am still dealing with the aftermath of COVID, still being very, very tired, very fatigued, trying to get back into the swing of things, of hitting the gym and getting my cardio in and things like that. So be nice to yourself, be kind to yourself, and just progress as you can progress. Push yourself as you can, and if you need to, take a step back. There's nothing wrong with that. I've been working on that myself in therapy, and realizing that sometimes making progress means moving backwards a little bit. And that's not regression. That actually is a form of progress, because you need to slow down, you need to take time off, and don't beat yourself up if you need to take a down day. Anyways, happy 2023, and may it just, it's a toast that I heard in the movie The Long Kiss Goodnight. may the best of your past be the worst of your future. See you next time.